So I've been on iRacing for years now, and there are a few things I really wish someone had told me before I joined, because it would have saved me a ton of time, money, and frustration. So today I'm going to share 5 things I wish I knew before I got iRacing, and hopefully save you a few headaches along the way. Hey everyone, so I've been sim racing since the COVID times of 2020. Wow, that was such a strange time. But when the world came to a stop, soccer, or football, however you like to say it, that all went out the window, and since I couldn't do that anymore, I discovered sim racing with just your basic Logitech G29 with wheel and pedals. Since then, and a proper dedicated sim rig later, I've tried pretty much everything from F1 from Codemasters, Assetto Corsa, ACC, R-Factor 2, Automobile 1 and 2, Carcraft, you name it. I've raced in multiple leagues, hit over 3k iRating, not that I really pay much attention to my iRating, and I'll get it to a bit later. I've even done endurance events like Le Mans 24 Hours with major series. I'm also working towards taking sim racing to the real world racing, so these tips come from someone who's not just using iRacing as a game, but also using it for training on the track. Before we dive in though, I do have a question for you all. What is your biggest frustration with iRacing? Or, on the flip side, what do you enjoy most about it? I'm curious to see what you all think. Drop it in the comments. Don't buy iRacing through Steam. When I first joined, I grabbed iRacing on Steam because not only was it convenient, they did have a starting sale. Little did I know, it was a huge mistake. Let me explain. This mainly has to do with the files. If you update through the in-game UI before the Steam updates, you can end up with conflicting files, which means re-downloading the entire game. And trust me, that's a painful wait. I've had updates flat out fail, missing file privileges, errors, and even cases where verifying the game files didn't even fix anything. The only solution? Uninstall and reinstall from scratch. Which when you start to stack up the iRacing content can get pretty painful to do that every couple of months. Just save yourself the headache and get it through the iRacing members site. If you do already own the game through Steam, just wait until Steam pushes the patch before updating. It'll save you hours of frustration. Otherwise, just message the iRacing dev team. They will help you get off the Steam client straight into an iRacing only account. iRacing is expensive. Be smart about it. Between the subscription and the content costs, it really adds up very quickly. The average car or track is around 18 to 23 Australian dollars, or 12 to 15 US. That's before you've even got a decent collection. When you sign up, you get 26 cars and 30 tracks. It might sound like a fair bit, but it's a mix with on-track, off-road, oval, and more. It does help with whatever you'd like to try, so here is where you get to experiment with it. When I started, I bought way too much too quickly. My advice, use the trial content first. Drive it for a month or two, figure out what you enjoy, and then start buying. For sure, if you want to get the Dallara F3 or the V8 supercars right off the bat, by all means, it's your money, you can do with it as you please. Because to be fair, this is exactly what I did. But here's the thing, you can only really use it in test drive or in a league if you do find that early on. This is because of the safety rating in iRacing, which I'll explain in my next point. Also, take advantage of participation credits. Run in at least 8 of the 12 weeks in a season and you'll get iRacing credits to put towards content. It's basically free money if you plan ahead. The rookies class is about survival, not winning. When I first jumped into rookies, I treated it like a sprint to the top. That was a mistake. Your main goal early on is building safety rating. That unlocks new license classes and better racing opportunities. Yes, iRating matters for the competition, but SR is what lets you drive other cars. Focus on finishing races, avoiding incidents, and learning how others drive around you, whilst also navigating around them. If you can, study replays of faster drivers in your split. See their lines, gear choices, and compare them to yours. It's pretty much free coaching. iRacing has a great rating system that matches you with players of similar skill levels. You won't be thrown into races with pros right away. Even at higher skill levels, there's tons of mistakes and accidents which always happen. That's part of racing, so don't stress about being perfect. Just focus on improving and having fun. And here's the thing. The first time I raced against real-world drivers, I realized how much more I had to learn. It completely changed my approach to iRacing, but more on that later. League racing will make you a better driver faster. Official races are fine, but league racing gives you consistency, same drivers, same race formats, and usually cleaner driving thanks to live stewarding. Here, you'll find a lot of drivers who tend to take their racing a little more serious. Back to that iRating dig earlier, in the leagues, you'll find people who have over 5k iRating and someone at 1k iRating could have the exact same speed and skill level. What? It might sound a bit crazy, but it just depends on what they as a driver value doing. Some drivers like myself don't tend to race much in official events. We spend most of our time practicing for our next league race, whereas other drivers will race more in the official events. It really just depends on you as a driver. I joined my first proper league event in 2024, and you know what? Most of my improvements skyrocketed compared to when I was running in official races. Why? everyone's prepared, and that pushes you to put in more effort too. It's trial and error finding the right league for you, but once you do, it's easily the best way to grow as a driver. Here's something I really wish I knew. Not everyone in iRacing knows how to race. I thought iRacing would be full of pros who knew exactly what they were doing. Wrong.
Oh my god!
You'll get clean and respectful drivers, but you'll also get drivers who brake check you, turn into you for absolutely no reason. It's still miles better than the public chaos of F1 lobbies by Codemasters. Trust me, I've done my time and been there.
Okay, listen, don't worry about it, mate.
But I guess bad drivers kind of exist everywhere. So don't go into iRacing thinking it's going to be a heck of a lot different from other sim platforms. However, back to that iRacing online system. When the worst does happen, you can submit protests to the iRacing team and they will look into it. That driver may only get a warning, but this does go against their profile. If they do get enough of those, iRacing may even send that driver on a small holiday away from iRacing. If the first incident is bad enough, that holiday may come sooner. Just check out iRacing Idiots of the Week. You'll see. On the flip side of that, there are also good drivers everywhere too. You'll also sometimes share the track with actual professional drivers. There are a lot of pro drivers who use iRacing. I've raced against the likes of Mercedes Formula 1 driver Kimi Antonelli, Formula 3 drivers Ugo Ukashuku and Tim Tramnitz, and those moments are really humbling. They are insanely quick and you instantly realise how high the ceiling really is. So there you go, 5 things I really wish I knew before getting into iRacing. Hopefully that saves you not only frustration, but time and maybe even some cash. Oh yeah, I did mention something about racing against real-world drivers which changed my approach. Well, here's the thing. They weren't just a little faster, they were relentlessly consistent. Lap after lap, their times barely moved. No scrappy mistakes, no overdriving to defend, it was precision and control in every single corner. It made me realise that in iRacing, well sim racing, raw pace isn't enough. You can be quick, but if you can't keep it up for an entire race cleanly, you're not going to win against that level of driver. So I started focusing less on how fast can I be over one lap, and more on how many laps can I do within a tenth of my best, without an incident too. It also pushed me to prepare like they do. Proper race runs in practice, learning the track in changing conditions, and even analysing my weak points with telemetry, this is where I use Garrett 61. It's basic, but works very well for what you need in analysing not only your own data, but comparing my data with other drivers to see where I can improve over a lap. It works seamlessly with your iRacing account when you sign up with Garrett 61. If you have the time, dig through it, it will definitely help. Okay, now we're actually finished. If you found this helpful, hit the like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. And if you would like to see more content like this, please let me know in the comments. It definitely helps me a lot. Until next time everyone, catch you all later and bye bye for now.